Hi everyone, we're just pulling in to the Washington northbound services to have a look at an EV charging development, which is going to be quite interesting. So over here you have the Gridserve EV charging hub. And we've covered this on the channel before. I've got a short of the southbound side, and this is the northbound charging hub here. So we've got 6 350 kilowatt chargers. And so we covered this about 2 years ago. Problem is, Gridserve, when they first bought Ecotricity out, they were selling their electricity for the grand old price of 30p a kilowatt hour. And so that was still half the price of petrol. And so that was okay, but not brilliant. Now let's have a look at what's developed around the back. So Tesla are now adding V4 superchargers. Why is that interesting? Well, the V4 superchargers at Durham, or Boburn services, are open to the public and are 50p a kilowatt hour, whereas Gridserve are now 79p. So quite often will be half price versus these chargers here. So that is going to be a very, very, very good development. So let's park up and go see what's happening on the northbound side as well. I'll walk over, maybe get a burger or something, and crack on and let you know about the chargers happening on the northbound side. So let's just quickly park up and see what we can do. Hi everyone, well the road bridge was closed, so I'm having to go the long way around because there's loads of diversions and it's not actually easy to cross the A1m in any way, shape or form. So we'll just go the long way and go check it out, and we'll show you the old Gridserve chargers. I think my initial video was when there was 6 350 kilowatt chargers there, and I've got this really strong memory of meeting a couple of army guys who had a company car Corsa EV, and they hadn't learned how to take the bung off, and they were trying to send the car back because it just wasn't fit for purpose, because they only knew about Type 2 charging and didn't know about CCS charging. It was a bit of an absolute disaster for them. And I showed them what to do, and they got themselves going, but they'd already arranged to send the car back or something. It was absolutely ridiculous. But there were 6 350 kilowatt chargers there, and I think there's more now. I think there might be 11, if not 12. So we'll just go see if those empty pedestals have ever had a charger put on them. And then we'll go check out the new Tesla superchargers that are going there. Now, they're not live, and they've been fenced off for a little while, according to someone on the Tesla group. So I think they're just waiting for power, as is the usual way of things. So we'll have to see what we can find out about there. Now, at other places, like my local Ionity, I asked the DNO, put a little inquiry on their website to say, you know, when are you going to get power to them, and this, that and the other. They said, mind your own business please, that's Ionity's business and no one else's. So it's not easy to actually get any information about this, but suffice to say, power will come at some point and you will get no advance warning of it, sadly, because it looked like those superchargers were all fully installed. So I'll pick this up when we get there. Hi everyone, well these are the original 6 Gridserve 350 kilowatt chargers on the left. There's a BYD Atto 3 charging there, and then you've got the additional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so there's 11 here, all can charge a single car. And then here are the Tesla superchargers that they've put in. You can get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 4, 8, 16 Tesla Superchargers. There's some more power banks over here that you can see. And so, yeah, there's going to be a great deal of extra Tesla Superchargers here for everyone to be able to use. So they're really gearing up for an increased EV charging demand. Now, the reason why I want you to care is because Tesla are half price of Gridserve, as I've said, at least, especially if you're a Tesla owner. But even for non-Teslas, you can get these for incredibly cheap. So hopefully Tesla will have these as open. They're V4, so I would imagine so. And I'm really hoping that they compete on price. Because if these are open to non-Teslas, then essentially Gridserve are going to have to do something about their prices, aren't they? Because no one's going to charge an 80p when there's 50 or 40 or 35p over here with a membership. So hopefully we've got cheaper EV charging coming on the way. The other thing generally about this area is that we've covered the Fastnet hub around the corner at Parsons Lane, where there's 8, I believe, 300 kilowatt CCS chargers. And in addition to that, there's another Fastnet hub just round the corner at the galleries in Gallery Shopping Centre in Washington as well. There's already the Pogo chargers, so that's more brands to compete on price. Arnold Clark have opened up their EV charging hub at their car superstore just round the corner there as well. So there's loads of competitor brands of EV charging that could mean that we all get future EV charging at a much lower rate. So this is why I want you to be excited about that. So let me know if you've got any questions or comments below. When do you think they will go live? If you think that they will lower charging prices, if you think this is a good services, or if this will be a good place to stop. There's also the Fastnet charging at the Angel of the North as well, but there's not so much in terms of like services or amenities there, so not necessarily the best place to stop. And then there's around the corners the Ionity hub at the Gateshead Metro Centre. There's the Electra chargers just across the way at one of the shopping centres opposite there too. So there's just loads and loads of rapid charging going in and around Newcastle. So it's good to see for future long journeys and things. It won't be so useful for me ever making a journey unless I need to stop at one of them coming back home. I'm just a little bit short. But it's good to know that there is options there for travellers up to Edinburgh and things like that, and long distance salesmen and blah 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 blah, people without home chargers. Probably another reason I focus on Tesla Superchargers, because if you do get a Tesla, and I've just been test driving the Model 3 and the Model Y, so please do check those out, it could be quite affordable just to pop in there and charge at the Tesla Superchargers for about the same price as petrol, if not cheaper. And although it takes longer than filling up than petrol, it wouldn't be a huge waste of time in a Tesla. It would only maybe take you 20 minutes, half an hour. So if you were just going to get a burger anyway, then that's not the worst in the world to do once a week or something like that, and would be the same price as petrol, I would suppose. So let me know if you think that's a viable solution. Okay, right, I'll put the map where this is, and I'll put some screenshots of the prices and comparisons, and like, comment, subscribe. If you want to swap your energy company to Octopus, then please use my referral code below. You'll get 50 quid, I'll get 50 quid, and we can both save some money on our bills, and they're a nice green energy company. If you want to check out Octopus Electroverse, then again I've got a different code below, so have a look at that, because you can get a $5 off or $5 credit to charging if you download the app via using my code. Instavolt are a good charging brand, nice reliable units, lots of places everywhere. After 8 o'clock they're only 54p a kilowatt hour, so if you download their app and charge 10 kilowatt hours using one of their rapid chargers, then I get a $5, you get a $5. And then if you're in the market for any electrical goods, why not buy secondhand, reduce e-waste, use some repaired goods, and check out backmarket.co.uk for secondhand repaired electrical goods. I've always had really good quality stuff, including my mobile phone, etc. And the wife's, and some iPads for the kids, and headphones, and all this stuff. So everything's been pretty good, with pretty good quality, good screens, everything works, and good battery life and stuff. So please check that out. You can get 10 off, I can get 10. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. I will see you in the next one. Right, hi guys, sorry for the road noise. I don't have my mic with me today or my real camera, so we're using my phone. And you can see there's this original 6 that I originally videoed, and then I knew that they'd left stands over here for more to go in, and there's 6 more. Originally they were 350 kilowatt, they've been delabeled to 200, presumably for the grid capacity reasons, and they are 75p a kilowatt hour. I've just seen that Kia man owner go inside his car, so perhaps I'll let him know how much cheaper they are, because these are the Tesla ones right opposite, right next to Travelodge, that are much cheaper. So there's no one in that Peugeot. Is it Peugeot? It's Peugeot. So no need to tell. There is a lady in that Peugeot over there, and there's a man in that Kia over there. There's no subscriptions for Gridserve, so there's no reason they should be using them really. But there is now 24 chargers at this services, and there's 24 just about to go live over there. So there's only 12, there's 6 Gridserves over there, and there's about to be another 12 Teslas going live. So just cheap, easy charging is becoming much more available. And how much has car park has taken up with EV charging? It's about a quarter or something. So it's really great that people will see that it's available, and there's no queues. There were supposed to be queues everywhere, right? EV charging, there's going to be queues everywhere. Witness the queues. And there's an MG4 pulling up. No queue, but also no clue that Tesla is 20p cheaper. So at 52p a kilowatt hour, the Tesla chargers over there would be about 12.5, 15p a mile, about the same as petrol at a reasonably efficient car, lower for SUVs. But Gridserve over there at 75p will be much more. Don't ask me to do the maths in my head right now, but it's probably about 17, 18p, something like that. So you can see why on a long journey this would be better. Right, so thank you everybody. The other thing to consider is you can't really get AC charging for cheaper than 31p out of hours for Tesla, or 50p. So if I was staying at this Travelodge over here, which I'll show you overnight, quite often you say, oh, if you're staying at a hotel, you don't really need a rapid charger, you want slow AC charging. Where in the UK, you'd be really hard pushed to get AC charging for an EV cheaper than 31p. You're not going to do it. And actually, cheaper than 52p is debatable too. So you literally would just use one of these Tesla rapid chargers. Now, I've shown you how to use them before, so I'll put the links to the guide of how to use a Tesla supercharger as a non-Tesla owner down below, and there's probably no need to repeat you doing it right now. But shall I be a good Samaritan and just check if people know that they can use the Tesla chargers and it's cheaper, or is that just going to be interfering nonsense? Right guys, just popped over to have a chat with everyone, just check they knew if Teslas were open and that it was cheaper. A, they didn't know it was open. B, they didn't really know it was cheaper. I have told them. I've told the Peugeot driver, nice lady, she was very thankful to be told the MG driver, told him it was working, and the chap in the EV6, he's on a golfing weekend, and he was very grateful to know, but next time he will do it. I'm like, I've just told you it's a third cheaper. I would automatically move. Anyway, I'm plugged in just to pretend that I needed to charge really, and to show the MG driver that it was going to work. So I'm just going to rapidly go now and go home and go see the kids. But yeah, so Southbound, Washington services, just south of Gateshead in Newcastle, open to non-Teslas, works like a dream. Currently going at 50 kilowatts, because that's about what my car does 77 if the battery's optimally warm, but it's not a very hot summer day. It's very overcast and a little bit cool, and the battery will be a little bit cold, which is why it's not doing its best. But yeah, I don't need to be here, so I'll unplug and get off home. And just wanted to let you know it's open, it's easy to work with non-Teslas. I just looked at the number, clicked on the app, pressed charge, plugged in, 30 seconds later it's going. You can just use a contactless card as well and mess about on the screen and get it to work. Think it works with 800 volt cars. Think the V4s are 800 volt compatible, so do charge your 800 volt car quickly as well. But I'll be off, need to get off home for family duties. Ciao.